All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Maxed Out Radio. It's been a few weeks since the last episode, I think. Of course, for those of you, if this is your first time watching, this is an episodic radio show that I do almost every 2 weeks or so, where I just talk about the manga. If a chapter just came out, I usually recap it. We talk about the music, and we just talk about what's going on in the world of Maxed Out and the unfortunate and fortunate things that happen in my life. It's quite fun, and of course, I always answer your guys' questions. If you ever see me post on social media asking about the questions, please feel free to submit them. I answer all of them that I get. I don't think we had that many for this episode. I did kind of do it a little late, I'm not going to lie. It's kind of my bad, but I think we only had one or two. I will check the Maxed Out email right now. And while I'm searching for that, I will say today's a very special episode. We have a message from the singer of Maxed Out, which is Yui Katsuragi. She plays the voice of Maki. Looks like we've got one question here, and so I will keep this up actually, and I believe I had them on YouTube as well, so I'm just opening them up right now. I should have done this beforehand, but I'm gonna play the message first, and the message is in Japanese, so I will put subtitles for you guys so you can understand what she is saying. But I'll talk a little bit about Yui before I play the message, and then funnily enough, I'm going to try to speak Japanese in response. So I came up with a little bit of a message there, and we'll see how that goes. But I think the messages were quite light, honestly, for questions, that is. I think I only had two to answer. So I'm just going to check. I believe X was the last place that I asked, so I'm just filtering through it right now, and yeah, there's nobody on here. So it's going to be shorter on the questions this episode, but let's get right into it. Let's play the message. Okay, let's play the message. Yui is very happy to talk to you guys. Basically, for those of you who don't know, Yui is the singer of the band in Maxed Out, Strawberry Jam. She plays the voice of Maki Hoshimoto in that regard. And of course, just in case you didn't know this, I feel like it's important to mention, there is no AI used in Maxed Out, so it's not an AI voice or anything like that. And all of the illustration and the music is produced by myself, and the vocals are recorded by Yui. So with that, here is the message from Yui. She was really excited to share this with you guys, so I will put subtitles on the screen so you can understand it.
Hi everyone, I'm Yui Katsuragi, the singer of the song Maxed Out. マックスちゃんが歌う曲を私が歌っているのですが、皆さん聞いてくれましたか？マックスアウトを読んでいる皆さんにこうしてメッセージをお届けできてとても嬉しいです。これからもたくさんの曲を出していく予定なので、お気に入りの曲があったらコメントで教えてください。これからもマックスアウトよろしくお願いいたします。See you again!
わー、Yui-chan優しいね。She is so kind. She really is so kind. So I'm gonna do my Japanese is I'm much better at understanding Japanese than I am at speaking it, because obviously I don't get the opportunity to speak it very often. Usually when me and Yui are talking, it's through text, and I usually only hear her voice through singing, so I very rarely have ever heard her talk. So that's one of the first times I've ever heard her actual speaking voice, since she's usually either voice acting things or just singing. So I'm going to try my best to deliver a Japanese message. 僕からゆいちゃんへメッセージがあります。Okay. ゆいちゃん、ごめんね。まだ日本語がある意味上手じゃないんだ。いつもマックスアウトをさせてくれて本当にありがとう。そして記憶でもいつも全力を出してくれてありがとう。きっとファンのみんなもゆいちゃんがいてくれて本当に嬉しいと思う。ゆいちゃんは星本真希というキャラクターをすごく大切にしてくれていて、That was tough. そのことに本当に感謝しています。 今まで一緒に制作できて本当に嬉しいし、これからもこれからも素敵に記憶を作って、この物語をみんなに届けていくのが楽しみです。ゆいちゃんは本当に才能があって高いレベルで歌うためにすごく努力していて、そのことを自分は絶対に当たり前だと思っていません。思っていません。I have no idea what I just said there. I completely screwed that up. Anyways, 本当にありがとう、ゆいちゃん。Yeah. Hopefully the YouTube subtitles, if she's watching this, do better justice of what I just said. But long story short, I will say it in English because it will come across much better, and hopefully the YouTube subtitles can do me justice there. Yeah, I'm obviously just so thankful to have her be a part of this project. She has helped out so much, and she takes Maki very seriously as a character and always gives it her all. So I'm very thankful for that, and I never take it for granted. So, with that, I did want to say as well, a lot of the fans, they really do love you. They do support you. They love your voice. They love listening to the music. So we're just really happy to have you as a part of the project. And here is to creating many more wonderful songs. Arigato, Yui-chan. Okay. So now let's move on to the questions. There was a few. So I'm going to do the YouTube ones first from Ultra Card Things. Question about your composition process when creating the instrumental tracks for instruments that you don't play. Do you think about how someone would play it on a real instrument and adjust the track accordingly? So for all of the real instruments, I play all of them. So I play the guitar, I play the bass, and the drums is the only thing that I don't play. So since the vocals are real as well, I obviously don't handle those, as we just discussed. Yui handles those. So I usually coach and guide her through how I want it to sound. And for the drums, since that is a VST plugin, the way that I do the drums is actually not by just doing what works. I try to remember that if these shows are going to be played live, I don't even know what I just said there. If these songs are going to be played live in the future, somebody on the drums has to be able to play it. So I try to write the drums exactly how a real drummer would write them. That was something that I only started doing a couple months ago. So maybe in the first version of Expressionless Loop, I wrote the drums in a way that was just what worked for the song. But as I've gotten better, I've studied the drums more, and I try to write them in a way that is realistic to how a drummer would actually be able to play them. So, making sure only a certain number of things can be struck at once, like open hats, hi-hats, snares, toms, all that stuff. So that's very important. For me going forward. It actually really helps with the sound of the song overall. So that's something I definitely take into account. But obviously for the guitar and the bass, I play those myself. So I don't need to do any of that because it's just me playing them. So question for what's the process of finding voice actors, negotiating contracts, and is there a voice director? Well, this is just a manga currently. There's no anime or anything like that, so there's no need for a voice director. I am the only one basically running the whole thing, so Yui just helps with the singing, and sometimes I haven't gotten a chance to release them yet, but sometimes she does a little bit of voice acting for things that I'm going to do in the future, and I kind of have just had them stored for a while now. And there's no contracts or anything like that. There's no studio that owns this. So it's just me. And we just kind of work on a per project basis. So per song. I'm not going to get into details of how much it costs or anything like that. That is private information. But and how I found her was actually through a guitarist on Instagram named Vlad.thn, which I believe is a Ukrainian guitarist, very good at playing math rock, often just kind of shares his ideas on there. And he's got his own band called We Were Builders Not Heroes, or We're Builders Not Heroes, and she was featured on one of their songs, and that's how I found her. I just heard her voice in that song, and I just kind of instantly knew right away that that's what I wanted Maki to sound like, and the rest is history, I guess. I just reached out to her on Instagram, and funny enough, she originally actually didn't want to do it because she thought it would be too much work, but then she kind of sat on it and waited on it a little bit and decided that she did want to help, and I think it's been almost a year now that we've been working together writing these songs. So let me go to the email here from Saturaner. Burisuko-san, any plans to expand into music writing tutorials alongside your drawing content? Well, for those of you who don't know, as this email does know, that's what my channel was originally based on, but I actually kind of flipped it. So I was making music tutorials through FL Studio for almost like 5 years, and I have since privated all those videos because they're very low quality. They're not well made at all. And I plan to do them again in the future, just much nicer. So right now I'm just focusing on drawing content because I think that's just like a little bit more popular. It's a little bit easier barrier of entry, if you will. And I'm kind of waiting until my channel grows more to introduce the music side of Maxed Out into it, because I don't want to get too much into like how YouTube works and stuff, but it's a little bit difficult to run like two different things at once. Usually you want to have like a channel for one thing and then a channel for another. But I think in this case, Maxed Out will work with both. I just kind of need to wait for the right timing for it. So I will eventually upload some music tutorial things in the future. And as far as I'll say for that, like there's just like a couple of video ideas that I've wanted to do. And one of them was just like taking our songs and doing guitar tabs for the songs so you guys can play them yourself. Was that it? I think that was all the questions, right? I didn't really get many other questions. So I just want to talk about the music for a little bit, since we've basically been talking about the music the whole time. If you don't know, I'm sure most of you who watch this radio show know about the band on Spotify, but just in case you didn't, you never know, just in case you didn't, we are on Spotify already under the name Strawberry Jam. So just type in Strawberry Jam and one of our songs like Monochrome, Tadaima, Expressionless Loop, something like that, and you should find us without any issues, so you can listen to the music. This is the best way to support the Maxed Out series because the manga is currently free to read. So I don't earn anything from you guys reading the manga, but I don't want to say I because it's more like me and Yui. We earn support through you guys streaming the music. So that is the most important way. And of course, it's free to stream the music. You don't have to pay anything for it. So the manga is totally free to read, and you can support us by streaming the music. And of course, I don't really need to expand any further of why that's helpful. But if you wish to support Maxed Out, just stream the songs. Sorry if you heard that. That was my dog barking. I don't know if that got picked up in the mic, but it was quite loud. Okay. So we are working on 2 new songs. Expressionless Loop is coming out June 3rd. I've run into some issues with getting this song on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff. For whatever reason, the distribution company is just absolutely refusing to put these songs on like Instagram that you can tag in your posts, and same thing for like TikTok and YouTube. They keep telling me that it's AI generated content, which is just not true at all. There is no AI used in the final production of Maxed Out, or basically in any point in the production of Maxed Out. So I don't know why they're saying this. All of the album art is drawn by myself. The music is made by myself. The vocals are recorded by Yui. And yeah, I don't know. They're just like refusing to accept my disputes every time I do that. So unfortunately, you guys will not be able to tag the songs in your post because I can't resolve this. If this continues, I'm going to move to a different distributor so that you guys can do that. But essentially, it will still come out on Spotify and everything like that. I don't want to get into... I try to avoid talking about political things like that, so I'm not going to go into the whole thing of AI, but, based on what I said, I'm sure you guys can understand how I feel about that. So we don't need to go into that any further. So I have 2 new songs coming out, which is a re-recording of Expressionless Loop. That's going to come out June 3rd. So that's about 2 weeks from now, right? Maybe a little bit, maybe like a week, 10 days. I think it's like 10 days. 9 days as the point I'm recording this. And then we have another song, which the title may change, but currently right now it's called Ripple Effect. I might change that title later on. They're both similar songs, so they kind of, they're not in the monochrome or Tadaima, whatever it's called. What am I looking for? Like that style. It's more towards the like expressionless loop style. So I've kind of been thinking about it in a way of like all of the members of Strawberry Jam, Heki, Kotane, Maki, and Reina all produce the songs together. And each of the characters has a different influence on how the song would sound. So the best way I'm going to explain this is like, I feel like Kotane as a character would produce a song that sounds like Mygo from Banji Dream. Bang Dream? Is it Bang Dream or Banji Dream? Somebody, whatever. Somebody correct me in the comments. I think it's Bang Dream, right? It has to be Bang Dream. And it's just like spelled weird. And, you know, Heki would probably have some sort of song that has like very present bass lines in it. I felt like Reina would produce something like how Monochrome sounded, or how Tadaima sounded, a little bit more classic, a little bit more fun to play for a lead guitarist. And then I always pictured Maki, because she loves anime as her character. She's like into anime, into manga and stuff. Like I feel like her songs would sound like songs like Expressionless Loop, which have that like anime opening vibe to them. So that's how I've kind of been going about writing the songs. So the re-recording of Expressionless Loop is honestly, it's just the same song. It's just recorded much clearer and much nicer. The mix is just so much cleaner on this new version. So I can't wait to share it with you guys because, you know, it just sounds a lot nicer. And Ripple Effect is a similar style to that song, but I recorded it in a weird key. I recorded it in C major. So for those of you who play guitar, you'll know that I actually had to tune the guitar down 2 whole steps to record that. So it's the first, and Ripple Effect, I'm getting confused because I've recorded a few songs in C major now. So new songs that haven't come out yet that will come out in the future. So I believe Ripple Effect was the first one that I did that on, if I'm not mistaken. So it is one of those songs where if you're going to learn how to play it, you do have to tune the guitar down 2 whole steps. So it's just standard tuning, but down 2 whole steps from D major down to C sharp, down to C major. So be careful with your strings if you're doing that, because they have a tendency to snap if you're retuning them like crazy. So those are the new songs that are coming out. I'm really happy with the album art on the Expressionless Loop one, which I'm going to see if I can place this on the screen for you guys to look at, because I'm really happy with this album art here. I'm going to browse through my files to see if I can find this. This maxed out folder is getting quite large. It's taking up a lot of space on my computer, so there's definitely lots of content coming. It's gigantic, so I've got to resize it here. Oh boy. Oh no. Okay, I should have thought this out better. I'm having to do this through OBS right now. You can see me dragging it on the screen. Okay, there it is. I'm gonna cover all of the characters, unfortunately, but it is what it is. That's a nice little spot for it right there. So yeah, there is the new album cover. Funnily enough, I'm gonna see if I can find this as well, because I just think it's really funny. I'm gonna show you what I used as a reference for this one, because I like totally transformed where this came from. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it really quick. If I can't find it in the next 10 seconds, then I'm going to give up. But basically, there was this Bocchi the Rock frame that I thought was really funny, where it's like she's like aura farming in the bottom of the screen on a black screen. Oh no, it's this one right here. Yeah. Okay, there you go. So if I can put the 2 next to each other, you'll see where I got the inspiration for it from. So there you go. So I basically used that one on the right as a reference where she's just like aura farming on this white background. And I don't know. I just saw that when I was looking for something to inspire me, and I was like, yep, that's definitely what I was picturing for that album art there. So yeah, I was really happy with this album art. I feel like it's a lot better than the original one I had. Maybe I could have done the clothes a little different. I feel like a white t-shirt is kind of like basic. I feel like I could have done like a white dress, like a white sleeveless dress, one of those loose ones. But anyways, I don't even know what the background is supposed to be. Maybe like underwater or something like that. I don't know. It's just kind of, I wanted the album art to have like a dark, deep vibe to it. So I didn't really want anything to be in the background. So yeah, that is quite funny to look at that. How do I get rid of this here? There we go. So yes, please be sure to look for this coming June 3rd. You might be able to pre-order it June 1st or June 2nd. So it should come out at 12 a.m. Japanese time on June 3rd. So that'll be June 2nd for you US guys. So we'll remove that. I need to redo this illustration that's on the screen as well because the characters just look so much different now. So actually, can I put that on the screen as well? Have I can't remember if I did that in the last episode, but basically new illustrations of the characters have been made, so we can kind of see like more what I was going for, which is this right here. I'm covering the whole screen, unfortunately. So that's what geez, okay, I can't zoom out on the OBS like HUD. There we go. I'll just do that. I'll just cover everything for this short time being. So you can see that's what Maki was like originally supposed to look like. And you can kind of see how I drew her on the right there. So I wish I could make this smaller. There you go. So you can see how I've kind of like refined the proportions a little bit. She just looks a little bit older and less like I feel like her face on the version on the right is quite soft almost. Like she's kind of got like more of a round face. And she's 17 years old, so I feel like I needed to make her just look a little bit older. And the expression, the eyes have changed. They're a little bit like more flat, if you will. So, but I'm not too big on like them wearing the same clothes all the time. So I always kind of change the outfits depending on what the scene or scenario is. So that is the new version of Maki that was made a while ago. And since you're supporting me watching this, I'm going to show you the new version of Heki as well. I haven't finished it yet. If you want to see the new versions of all the characters, just go to my Instagram. Reina's already on there. And I just realized I can't show it to you because I didn't export it to a JPEG. And I'm not going to do that right now. So never mind. You're going to have to wait. So yeah, what's going on with the manga? So for those of you who don't know, I've made so many posts about it, so I'm sure you do know at this point. I am currently like reworking the first 3 chapters. So the first 3 chapters are up right now, but just think of those as like an early access version. I am remaking them, making them much nicer, much more polished. The story has become much tighter, so I've kind of like condensed a lot of things and made it much easier to understand. And that's just because I've just improved as a manga artist and a storyteller. So I feel like I could kind of tell what was going on more efficiently. So I decided to remake it. And I'm also, you know, I'm aiming for like publication and serialization. So I want it to look professional. So I've really been putting a lot of time into redoing these first 3 chapters to make it really nice. I made a post about this on my page. The only reason I did that was because it became a lot more popular than I thought it was going to be. I thought only maybe a couple hundred people were going to read this manga for like the first year. And it's definitely surpassed that. There's definitely quite a few thousand people reading it and paying attention to the project, and they really like it and are supporting it, and so I'm really thankful for that. And I was just kind of taken off guard by that. I wasn't ready for it, so I wanted to redo it to make sure it was really, really nice, to make sure that I did it right. So that's why I decided to redo the chapters. I'm trying my best to finish them as fast as I can. Again, 13 pages in a month is very, very hard to do. So, of course, as well, remember that I'm also doing YouTube and also taking care of the music at the same time. It's a lot. So that's why it's a little bit slow and takes me a while to get these chapters out, is because I'm not just working on the manga. Like there's multiple things going on at once. So it's a lot to keep track of. It's also quite expensive as well, even though it doesn't seem like it. I'm not going to go too much into the financial investment about Maxed Out, but it is quite expensive to keep running. So, what else? What has anything happened in my life recently? I've been playing a lot of Counter-Strike. I don't know why that was the first thing that came to my mind. That's what I've been doing on my downtime. I'm very much an analytical person, and I like things that require a lot of thinking. So I'm usually invested in games that require me to have a high level of IQ to be able to be good at them. And so that's why I enjoy playing Counter-Strike. It requires you to think really hard. And so that's been consuming my nights recently. And I can't think of much else. I honestly haven't been doing anything else besides working on this and playing Counter-Strike. It's been a very a low event month, I would say, for the past 2 months. I'm just trying to grind out this chapter redo here. I don't have a time estimate for you, but I really think it's going to be ready, this new chapter, within the first couple weeks of June. I might have it finished by the middle of June, if I'm being honest with you. I think I'm about 7 pages done right now of characters, and it's only 13 pages long, so that's a little bit more than halfway done. And it doesn't take like too long to fill in the characters, so I can probably finish that in the next 2 weeks. And then I have to do the backgrounds, which takes about a week to do, and all the little like touch-up polishing stuff. And that should basically complete it for middle of June, I would say. Around middle of June, maybe a little bit later, maybe around like June 15th to June 25th. I'll give you that window. I think that'll be a realistic time. And I'm not going to take any time off, so I'm going to go right into producing the second one as soon as I finish. I've already storyboarded all of them for the first 3 of the redo, because obviously the first 3 chapters already exist. So all I had to do was take the story from the first 3 and just like repanel the pages and restructure it to make it easier to read and visually, just better improved and a lot like easier to understand and better flowing. So I didn't have to like come up with anything. And unfortunately, I had actually already started chapter 4 before I made this decision. So I was about halfway through chapter 4 when I decided to redo all of them. And I'm happy I did that. My dog is scratching at my door right now. So I'm happy I did that because, hey, stop it. She's gonna scratch up my door and ruin it. So yeah, I'm happy I redid all of them because, I just feel like it's a lot better of a read for you guys. I think it's just going to look a lot nicer too. So, I'm not going to ramble too much about that, but basically I just had to scrap the original chapter 4 I had, and now I've got to redo it. So if I had to guess, I think our first volume is only going to be about 7 chapters long. Originally it was supposed to be like 10, but I think I'm going to condense it to between 7 or 8. So it might go 8 chapters, I think. And then I'm just going to go right into volume 2. I want to finish. My goal by the end of 2027 is to complete 2 volumes. That is my full goal for Maxed Out. I want to get 2 volumes out because in that state of whatever that would be, probably like 18 to 20 chapters, that is enough content for a 12 episode anime, I imagine. Maybe might need a little bit more. And so you can get to see what Maxed Out was meant to be in its entirety. Like the chapters that are out there right now really don't share that much about the story or the characters. It's just kind of like an introduction of what's going on. I promise I have thought about the story so much, and I've tried to make it like a really entertaining thing to read. So anyways, Yeah, I can't think of much else right now. I can't think of much else. I think I'm going to end this episode here. I know I didn't really go over that much. Like, really nothing's been going on with my life besides drawing and YouTube. I'm trying to work on videos and get them out as much as I can. It's been hard to come up with ideas for shorts lately, which is why you haven't been seeing anything. And I am working on a video right now, which is basically how to make your first manga page, or like what goes into a manga page. And I think that's going to be a really good video for a lot of people who are like picking up manga for the first time, or just want to see what goes into actually making a maxed out page, or just a manga page in general. It's really insightful to see just how much work actually goes into that. But yeah, I think I'm going to do it I think I'm going to end this episode here. I can't think of much else to say. So thank you guys so much. Again, please consider streaming the music. That's the best way to support Maxed Out. And I think I'll see you guys in episode 12. Be sure to follow Yui-san as well. I will link her accounts down below. Support her. She helps us out so much with this project. And I really hope she's going to be here for a very long time to come, because she's just wonderful to work with. And I really want her to see the success of Maxed Out as well, not just myself. So please go and support her as well. Support her pages, listen to her other songs, follow her on X and on Instagram. I will be sure to tag them in the description so you can easily access that. And all my links will be there as well. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next episode.